Where do I look?
At the camera.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Hey guys, what's up? I am back in Arizona and we're here for a Q&A video and I have Emma with me.
And I have the questions.
On note cards like a host.
Yes.
Before we start, I did want to count up the last of our miles from when I flew from Moscow to Arizona. Look, we broke 100,000. That's gonna be on the screen somewhere and then it'll go away. But you guys have submitted questions. My friends have asked me questions in person and stuff, so Emma has all of them on the note cards so that you're not just listening to me talk for however long this is gonna take.
Okay. Let's just dive right in. What was your favorite youth hostel?
Okay, my favorite youth hostel was the one in Switzerland. It's called Balmers. And the reason I went to this one was because my dad visited the exact same hostel 30 years before I went to it. But it was my favorite because it had a hammock room and they had like discounts for every single thing that you could do there. People went like skydiving and stuff. Obviously I didn't.
Why would you go the whole way to Switzerland to go skydiving? Like, skiing.
In the summer?
Well, in the summer, hiking. You hike where you ski, and then you ski where you hike. So, like, there's always an option. So, yeah, that one's trash now. How many countries did you travel to?
England, Scotland, France,
Well,
Switzerland, Germany, Austria, Hungary, Turkey, 9, Russia.
I mean, technically your first stop was in America. Because didn't you go to Charlotte? Or was that only on the way
I
back?
went to Chicago, but that
Chicago,
doesn't count as
yeah.
a new country.
Well, no, it doesn't count as a new country, but where you traveled to. So the first place you traveled was Chicago. It was not all these countries were new for you. You've been to some of them.
That's true. 10?
No,
9?
I don't know.
I don't know.
How did you find food?
God, who asked that question?
Wasn't me.
Okay. The question is asked because I have like this weird stomach thing. I mentioned it when I was still in Arizona before I left for the trip, but it was actually a lot easier to find food than I thought because all of the food quality was so much better in Europe. Yay! It's not trash like America. So usually I would just go to the grocery store and like, or the, you know, bakery.
Yeah, words.
And get a baguette and then buy some chicken and some peaches and like that was dinner. And then
And that was dinner for you last night too. So the next question is going to be like, you know, crazy because what was your favorite food?
Okay, alright, so
it's gonna be baguettes and peaches.
no, there were these dumplings in Russia, in Moscow. Oh my god, they were like that big, tiny, like little bite-sized ones, but they had like warm, gooey cherries in them, so every single dumpling tasted like a mini cherry pie.
What was the worst thing you ate?
I
It's
did
not
try.
like we share the same air.
I tried haggis and black pudding. Black pudding was gross.
What is
It's-
black pudding? Is it licorice pudding? Because if it is,
It's not
can't.
pudding. It's like a little. It looks kind of like a sausage patty, but it's black and it tastes really.
Are you sure it's not just like charcoal scrubbed off from a grill put into a little patty?
It's not haggis. It's worse than haggis.
How many miles did you walk on average per day?
Probably like 8, because there was some.
Here's a great question. Did you know any of the languages? I can answer this one for her. No, Sammy only speaks English, so unless you count London and Scotland, she happened to know English there. No, she did not know any of the languages because she doesn't know any other languages except for a couple words in French.
You can read French.
Question answered. Here we go. How many bagels did you eat in one day?
So, I'll explain why I ate this many bagels.
No, don't explain why, just answer the question.
So I had my friend Charles buy me like this whole pack of 5 bagels. Ow!
Where did you stay the longest?
London? London. Because didn't answer the question.
You didn't say final answer. Wait, that's not how Jeopardy works. Incorrect. Next question. How much time did you spend doing homework?
Not that much, actually.
Any is too much.
I know, I did all the readings before the trip, which was smart, except for like the really short like the, I don't know, the Blackboard ones.
In case you didn't know what we're talking about, is she did a study abroad through our college, so she was also taking classes.
If you haven't watched any of the videos, you wouldn't know that. If you watched any of the videos, you would know that.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Why are you watching this if you haven't seen the videos? I did do homework all the way up and through Istanbul though, because I had a 3,000-word essay due on August 6th. And I didn't get back until the 10th, so I think I submitted it like a day and a half early because it was due Arizona time.
This is my vlogging channel.
Congrats, welcome to Emma Cease Productions now.
No, I don't want to
Cease the Day Productions.
No, that's like, no, we're not turning my
Cease
production
the Day
company into a
Productions.
meme! We're just gonna call it Trash R Us. That's the name of my vlogging channel. Thank you for watching. Last question. What country had the cutest boys?
Germany.
Incorrect. Okay. So now that we're done asking the questions, we're going to tally up Sammy's points from this game of Jeopardy. So she got -100 for being rude, -200 for challenging my authority, +400 for the cute boys, plus half a point for the skydiving comment, and overall, she got -1,500 for actually doing homework. So she got about a score of a B-. So she loses. Well,
thanks for your questions. Next will probably be tips and tricks when I have time.
tips and tricks.
Tips and tricks.
Tips and tricks.
So basically I get to tell more stories that I
Is
still
it like
haven't
you're gonna
told.
give me money, like tip me, and then you're gonna like juggle tips and tricks?